This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, all. Today we are going to discuss another important topic. Briefly, we discuss energy band diagram of a semiconductor, energy band diagram of a semiconductor, P-type semiconductor and N-type semiconductor, and PN junction diode also. Right? Uh, if we require more on energy band diagrams, the reference textbook is Solid State Electronic Devices by Streetman. Okay, Ben G. Streetman. So this is the standard textbook for energy band diagrams. Okay, not only energy band diagrams, we require fundamental concepts of electronics. Okay, people preferred Streetman, right? Solid state electronic devices by Streetman, right? To cover this topic, I preferred this textbook, Solid State Electronic Devices by Streetman. So far, we analyzed the semiconductors. What is meant by semiconductor, right? What are the different types of semiconductors? How semiconductor is formed? P-type formation, N-type formation. How the current conduction taking place in semiconductors, and also we also concentrated on how current flows through a PN junction diode also. Okay, without referring the energy band diagram, just we briefly we go through the conduction due to electrons, conduction due to holes, like that we discussed, right? Now in this class we try to describe the same concepts using the energy band diagrams, right? Okay, now observe here, already we know that silicon is a material, main material used for VLSI system or manufacturing integrated circuits. So this is the nucleus, and these are all the energy bands, or what we can say these are called the cells, right? And this is the 1s2 in first S cell, 2 electrons, 1s2, 2s2, 2 p6, like that, right? Okay, silicon has 14 electrons. Okay, at 0 degree, the highest energy band occupied by an electron is called the valence band. Okay, this outermost electrons is called the valence band electrons. Okay, here this one the valence electrons, and this in between this one gap is called the valence band. Okay, now we discuss. Now, okay, different bonding structures in solids. Okay, here this is a one type of structure here. As an example of first one is the ionic bonding in NaCl, and second one is the covalent bonding. Here in covalent bonding, already we discussed this one. Each silicon atom is bonded with another silicon atom with covalent bonds. In covalent bonds, 2 electrons per bond. Okay, now observe here, when we consider a single silicon atom, okay, keep in mind this one, we consider a single silicon atom, this is the structure, right? Whenever we consider a solid, what happens means, okay, in a solid, many atoms are brought together so that the split energy levels from essentially continuous bands of energies, right? These discrete energy levels are not available in, these are the, all these cells, suppose these cells are the discrete energy levels. Okay, these discrete energy levels are available if we consider only single silicon atom or isolated atom. Then what happens means, if you form a solid, okay, in a solid many atoms are brought together so that the split energy levels form essentially continuous bands, right? Now suppose you consider the silicon. Each isolated silicon atom has an electronic structure 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p2 in the ground state. Each atom has available, again here, 2 1s states, 2 2s states, 6 2p states, and 2 3s states, 6 3p states. Okay. Now, if we consider the n atoms, there will be 2n. Okay, this is related to 1s. And another 2n, this is related to 2s. Then 6n, this is related to 2p. And another 2n that is related to 3s. And another 6n states that is related to 3p. Okay, maximum state is 3p6. So that 6n states respective. Now what happens means, as the interatomic spacing decreases, right? The spacing between the two atoms or interatomic space decreases, what happens means, these energy levels split into bands. Okay, whatever we observe this energy levels here, these are all the energy levels, 1 2 3, these are all the energy levels. These energy levels split into bands. Remember this one. Okay, beginning with outermost cell, as the 3s and 3p bands grow, they merge into a single band composed of a mixture of energy levels. This band of 3s minus 3p levels contains 8n available states. Okay, maximum available states. What is 3s states? 2 3s states and 6 3p states. So that the maximum available states are 8n available states. Okay, as the distance between atom approaches the equilibrium, interatomic spacing of silicon. Okay, as the distance between atoms approaches the equilibrium, okay, without connecting any external signals, interatomic spacing of silicon, this band split into two bands separated by an energy gap. Remember this one. This point is very, very important, right? As the distance between the atoms approaches the equilibrium condition, what happens? Whatever this band 3s minus 3p band split into two bands separated by an energy gap. The upper band is called the conduction band, contains 4n states, as does the lower one is valency band. Remember this one, right? So to total this outermost cell form a one energy band. That energy band at equilibrium divided into two separate bands. One is the conduction band and another one is the valence band, separated by some energy gap. Okay. Now this energy gap are also sometimes are also called forbidden band, right? Since in a perfect crystal it contains a no electron energy states. What is meant by forbidden? It does not contain any electron energy states. Okay, now what happened here? Observe here. Sorry. Okay. Now, as the interatomic spacing is decreases, okay. Now what happens? What are the energy space? Observe here. Vertical axis is relative energy of electrons and x-axis relative spacing of atoms, right? As the relative spacing of atoms decreases, these are all observed here. This is for only silicon. This band structure is only for silicon material, right? Okay. Now here already we know the discrete levels 1s, 2s, 2p. This level is 3s and this level is 3p, right? Okay, these are all the atomic related information with not required. Now here what happened? These are all the discrete levels. Now as interatomic space decreases, what happened means, now a bunch of energy states are available in this region. Observe here the green area. Observe here green area. Okay, here this one is, it is overlapping of energy states. Okay, now coming to this one, what happened means, okay, especially this vertical line. especially this vertical line. This vertical line is related to the silicon. Okay, how much band gap energy here? The band gap energy is approximately for silicon 1.1 electron volt, right? Okay, now what happened here? Now this band is valency band. So this band is conduction band. This band is valency band. Now total available states, how many available states are there? Okay, available states are 8n states. Why? Because only outermost cell 3s 2 states and 3p 6 states. Again the interatomic space decreases. What happens means these states merged into two 4n states. Here 4n states and another 4n state, and upper one related to the conduction band and lower one related to the valency band, and the gap between this one, okay, separated gap between this one is this is the energy band gap. Energy band gap units generally represented electron volt. For silicon, this one is 1.1, around 1.1 electron volt, right? And observe here, outermost cell for silicon, outermost cell consists of 4 electrons, right? Here capital N indicates the number of atoms, right? Now 4n electrons. Observe here in valency band, how many electrons here? 4n electrons. How many states here? 4n states. In conduction band, how many electrons here? In conduction band, 0 electrons. Okay, how many states are there? 4n states. Suppose if n is equal to 1. Okay, only single atom. Single atom here, how many electrons here? 4 electrons. 4 valence electrons are available only in valency band. Remember that one. Okay, here in conduction band, 0 electrons, but available states are there. There is a space for electrons, but number of electrons here is 0. But observe here in valency band, how many states here? Available states are 4 states are available. How many electrons are available? If n is equal to 1, 4 electrons are available. That means valency band is completely filled with outermost cell. For silicon, outermost cell is only 4 electrons. So 4 electrons are available in valency band. But whereas in conduction band, electrons are 0, but there is a space for electrons. States are available, right? Okay, only this line gives the silicon. Observe here, only this vertical line gives the silicon band gap. Okay, there is another material, suppose it is a germanium. Germanium whose band gap is less than the silicon band gap. Silicon only 1.1 electron volt, whereas some germanium, another semiconductor material, germanium, that is 0.68. That means this one is less than the energy band gap of silicon. That means that maybe vertical line comes into right side of this one. Okay, this is a vertical line. This is for silicon. For germanium around right side. Why? Because the band gap is less than. Maybe like this. Maybe the germanium place may be like this. Why? Because the germanium band gap is only 0.68 electron. Now what happen if you move the right side? What happen here? Observe here. Okay, the total complete how many states here? 8n states and 8n electron. Okay, in this behavior, it is like a metal behavior. Okay, here in this case, what happens means conduction band and valence band is overlapped here. There is no energy band gap. What happens means the behavior is a metal behavior, right? Okay, once again here the main concept is here this is the where we consider the isolated atom. That means only single silicon atom. When we consider the solid, okay, already we know that for silicon per cubic centimeter, how many atoms are there? 10 power 22, nearly 10 power 22 atoms per cubic centimeters. Okay, that means what happened within a per cubic centimeters, available atoms are 10 power 22. You can imagine that the spacing between the two atoms is very small. Due to this less spacing, what happened means their energy levels are disturbed. Then what happened means all these energy levels are formed, right? Okay, mainly outermost cell. They formed into single energy band, and at equilibrium condition, this band again further divided into two bands, namely valency band and conduction band, separated by a band gap energy. Right? Okay. Now coming to the for silicon, how many states, how many electrons? Here, observe here in valency band, 4n states, available electrons, 4n electrons. But in coming to the conduction band, 4n states, but electrons are 0 electrons at the equilibrium state. At equilibrium condition, that means the temperature also 0 degree Kelvin. At 0 Kelvin, valency band completely fills 4n states and 4n electrons, whereas conduction band completely empty. But there is a space, right? This vertical line is for silicon atom. Okay, now here the band gap is this one is the band gap. For silicon, the band gap is 1.1 electron volt. Okay, coming to the germanium, that is also same as whenever we consider the some solid silicon solid. What happens means again all energy levels, outermost energy levels are divided into valency band and conduction band finally, and separated by some small band gap. For silicon, the band gap is 0.68 electron volt. That means the place of germanium. That means the place of germanium is right side of the silicon. Around maybe like this in this place, there is some silicon band gap. Okay. Now observe here. This is the overlap section here. Okay, here in this case, what happened means the behavior in this case here, the behavior is a metal type of behavior, right? Okay, this is briefly about the band structure and relative energy of electrons and relative spacing of atoms. Okay, remember this one. Okay, here conclusion here is as interatomic spacing reduces in solids, what happens means all outermost cell energy levels form a single band at equilibrium. Again, that band is divided into two separate bands, valency band and conduction band, and separated by a band gap energy. Okay. Now there may be a different band gap structure if we combine two materials like a silicon and we combine with another material like this, then band gap again changes. Remember this one, right? Okay, different atoms and different elements give their different band gap structures, right? Okay, now here observe here. Now finally, in all cases, what happened here? All energy states are divided into okay two bands, conduction band and valency band. Okay, coming to the insulator here, one filled band, one empty band, large band gap energy. Here the band gap energy is very high in insulators, but here valence band is completely filled, whereas in conduction band is empty, and the band gap between these two bands, valence band and conduction band, is very high, nearly greater than 7 electron volt or 5 to 7 electron volt. Now coming to the semiconductor. Now here semiconductor, observe here, same as insulator except a smaller band gap. Okay, the concept here also the same. Valency band completely filled, conduction band completely empty. But the difference is the band gap energy is small. Remember this one. This band gap energy is small. Right? Observe here. This is the complete figure here. This one is the band gap energy. And above this green one is the conduction band. Here below this green line is the valency band. Valency band completely filled, 4n electrons, 4n states. Whereas in conduction band, 4n states, but 0 electrons. That means what it indicates? Conduction band is 0, 0 charge carriers. Whereas valency band completely full, 4 electrons are available. Now coming to the metals, right? Metals overlapping bands, that is no band gap energy, or partially filled bands. Okay, in metals also, in one case of metals, what happens means this type of behavior. What is this type of behavior? Here is overlap. You cannot distinguish between conduction band and valency band. Conduction band and valency band are overlap, right? Okay, huge number of charge carriers are available in both valency band and conduction band, and there is no band gap energy. So that's what happen means conductors like a silver, or you can take any iron metal. What happen means the conductivity is very high in metals. Why? Because there is no band gap energy. Okay, in some metals, okay, there is some partially filled conduction band. Okay, in anyhow valency band is full. In conduction band partially filled, right? Just we apply some room temperature greater than room temperature, these electrons easily jump into conduction band in this type of metals, right? Okay, this is the difference between the insulator, semiconductor, and metals in terms of band gap energy. So the final conclusion is band gap energy is very high in insulators. So that what it indicates means these electrons, okay, cannot jump into conduction band. Even we apply a large voltage also, right? Even we apply a very large voltage, these electrons never jump into conduction band. So that the behavior is insulator behavior only, right? Even we apply a large voltage, okay, continuously we increase the voltage. What happens finally the material broken out, but the conduction is not taking place in insulators, right? Now coming to semiconductors, what happen here? If the band gap between conduction band and valency band is very small, okay, that band gap also we can change by using the doping concept, right? Okay, so up to now what happened means here the band gap is small. Okay, if we apply some, or if we increase some voltage temperatures, or apply some voltage, there may be chance this electrons available in valency band jump into conduction band. Okay, then what happens is there is a conduction taking place. So few charge carriers available in conduction band, so that results in electricity. Okay, current carries. Now coming to the metals, again here different metals. In most of the metals having a overlapping, there is a band gap. There is no band gap between conduction band and valency band, completely overlapped. Okay, in both bands, charge carriers are available. Okay, now coming to the in only few cases, valency band is full, conduction band is partially filled. Okay. Now coming to the semiconductors. Okay, these are the valency band. This is the conduction band. E suffix C. E suffix C indicates the conduction band. Here the V indicates the valency band, and E suffix Z indicates the band gap energy. Okay. Now if we increase some temperature, what happens? Okay. At room temperature at 0 degree Kelvin, the semiconductor behavior is a insulator behavior. As temperature increases, what happens? Sorry. Observe here, few electrons overcome the band gap energy, jump into conduction band. Observe here. Okay. Whenever this electron jump into conduction band, now what happens means there is an empty space. That empty space is called the hole. Similarly, here also this electron acquires sufficient energy. Then this will overcome this band gap energy and that will jump into conduction band. Why? Because in conduction band states are available, right? Energy states are available. That means space is available. Now here also same. That means as temperature increases, what happens means few electrons in valence band acquire sufficient energy to overcome the band gap energy. Then again they jump into conduction band, right? Okay. Now here what happened in intrinsic, already we discussed, in intrinsic carrier concentration, number of holes is equal to number of electrons. Observe here. Here one electron is available here. Here one hole is available. So that number of electrons is equal to number of holes. Similarly, one electron here available here. Here there is a one hole here. Okay, total in this case number of electrons is 2 electrons and 2 holes. That means, okay, even at temperature increases, if electron is come out from the covalent bond, then that will act as a free electron. Okay, empty space that treated as a hole. So that number of electron here is 1, number of hole also 1. Here in this case also number of electron 1, number of, okay, total in this figure, total electrons is equal to 2, total holes is equal to 2. Okay. Now, how to change, okay, how to change the conductivity in a semiconductor. Already we know that. Okay, how to increase the, right, the charge carriers. Okay, by using the doping, we can increase the number of holes as well as number of electrons. Right. Observe here, it is a N-type semiconductor here. Donors. By adding donors, what happens? By adding a donor atom like a phosphorus or some other pentavalent impurities, pentavalent atoms, that is in periodic table, that is fifth group elements are added into the pure silicon. Now what happens means due to this one energy state is created. Due to this phosphorus atom, one energy state is created. This is okay. This is very close to the conduction band. Very close to the conduction band. Now what happens means in this, due to this type of doping, what happens means number of available electrons are more. Okay, number of available electrons are more, number of electrons are available. Why? Because fifth group, okay, 4 electrons are bonded covalent with another 4 silicon atoms. Then only one extra electron is available. Okay, this is the extra electron. And the state, energy state is very close to the conduction band. At 0 degree Kelvin, okay, observe here, this is the valency band is completely filled. Even in conduction band also empty. Conduction band is completely empty. But nearby conduction band, some electrons are available. Because due to doping, we are introducing a doping concept. Here, due to this N-type material, more number of electrons nearby conduction. Now, as temperature increases, suppose very just greater than 0 Kelvin. Okay, now it is, that is, I think less than room temperature. Even less than room temperature, what happens means, suppose consider the 50 Kelvin. At 50 Kelvin, what happens means, these electrons, donor, okay, these electrons acquire sufficient energy, they jump into conduction band. They jump into conduction band. That means what it indicates, by adding a doping concept, we are introduce a one energy state. energy state as well as electrons. These electrons acquire sufficient energy if temperature increases. It is less than room temperature. These electrons acquire sufficient energy. They jump into conduction band. Remember this, right? Okay. Now, similarly, this is for P type. Okay, previous one is this is for N type semiconductors. Okay, here N type semiconductor donuts, they donate one electron and their energy band is nearby the conduction band, right? At less than room temperature also, they got some sufficient energy, then they jump into conduction band. Now here coming to the P type. Okay, P-type material is acceptors. By adding acceptor atoms, what happens? They create a energy state nearby valency band. Nearby valency band. Observe here. In previous case, what is previous here? Donor atoms. Their energy states are nearby conduction band. Why? Because it will donate electrons, so that the energy state is nearby conduction band. Coming to the P-type material, acceptors. That means here in conductivity taking place due to holes, right? Conductivity taking place due to holes. So that what happen means here holes are available. Energy state available nearby valency band. Okay, at 0 degree Kelvin, okay, there is no recombination here. At 50 Kelvin, what happen means, okay, these electrons, valency band electrons, acquire energy. They jump into empty space. Empty spaces are already available. Acceptors, right? Acceptor here like a boron. Okay. Now this electron jump into acceptor available energy states. This electron jump, this electron jump, this electron jump. Now here valency band, what valency band it consists of? Electrons as well as holes here. Now these holes easily move in a valency band. That means in this P-type material, the charge carriers are holes are the charge carriers. Remember this one. Right? Once again here, okay, here it is for N-type semiconductor. After adding the doping level, this will introduce the one energy state nearby conduction band. Okay, even just temperature greater than 50 Kelvin, these electrons jump into conduction band. Right, now conduction band consists of electrons. This electron freely moving within a conduction band results a current. So that the majority here the carriers are current. Electrons are the charge carriers. Conduction band. Okay. Conduction band gives the whenever this electron move around within a conduction band, it will result into current. So in N-type material, conduction band is responsible for resulting the current. Similarly, here in P-type material, valency band is responsible for creating and generating the current. Right. Now observe here. Okay, this is also doping concept here. Whenever we added a arsenic atom, one extra electron is added available. Whenever we added some boron, only 3 electrons, outermost cell consists of only 3 electrons, 3 covalent bonds are formed, one space, that is a hole. That is about the energy bands in N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductor. Now, what happened when two P-type semiconductor and N-type semiconductor form a junction? Okay. Now, what happened? This energy states. Okay. Now, observe this figure. This is the before contact. Before contact, this is the energy level. Okay, that is lowest energy level in conduction band. Okay, this is the valency band. Valency band, in valency band, highest level in valency band. This is the p-type material. Okay, so that this is the acceptor. Okay, now, okay, this is also called Fermi level. Okay, now what is Fermi level? Just briefly we discuss Fermi concept here. Okay, generally, what is, okay, this is the, there is a Fermi is the scientist name. Okay, that is the Fermi function. It will give the probability. The probability distribution function is here. The probability that an available state at an energy E will be occupied by an electron. So this is the formula where E is the energy level of interest. EF is the Fermi level. Okay, remaining all are the this is constant and this one is the temperature. What Fermi level indicates means this will give us the at least 50% guarantee. Okay, Fermi level. Okay, where Fe is the Fermi function is equal to 0.5. Okay, the probability, the Fermi level gives the probability that an available state at an energy approximately is equal to 50%, 0.5%. Okay, generally Fermi level, if it is a intrinsic, if it is a intrinsic, suppose it is a valence band, it is a conduction band, the Fermi level is exactly middle. Exactly middle. If it is a n-type material, this is the Fermi level distribution. The Fermi level also changes. This is for n-type or ED. Previously we discussed ED, donor atoms. Now this energy level almost approximately equal to Fermi distribution function. Similarly for p-type acceptor levels, this will introduce one acceptor that is equal to Fermi level. Okay. Now, okay, these are the Fermi levels. Okay, if you're not confused, these are all the donor level. This is the acceptor level. Okay, by adding the impurities, what happens? It will create a one energy state. Okay, here electrons are available. Here in p-type, it will create a one energy state nearby valency band. Here in this case, holes are available. Right. So this is the situation before contact. Before contacting the p-type material and n-type material. Okay, and observe here, the Fermi level is one side is Fermi level is high, in another side Fermi level is low. Okay, now what happens? Okay, before contact, what happens means there is a chance. Okay, this one is the p-type, this one is the n-type. Here in n-type, what happen here? Majority carriers are electrons. These electrons, okay, these electrons diffuse into p-type because there is no concentration of electrons here is 0. Here the concentration of electrons is more. Okay, here the 0, here more, they diffuse into p-type. Once they diffuse into p-type, what happens? Okay, here in p-type, what are the majority carriers? Majority carriers are O's. They recombine with holes in valency band. This is the 1, this is the 2. Similarly, what happens means here in this is the p-type, holes are the majority here. Here in n-type, okay, what is n-type majority? Electrons are the majority. Now holes almost 0. Here what happens means initially they diffuse. Higher concentration charge carriers diffuse into lower concentration area. In this area, concentration of holes is more. So this is the first phase. diffuse into n-type, because in time n-type holes are the minor at 0 suppose. So here few holes are there, here 0 holes are there. There is a concentration difference. In this area more concentration, in this area less concentration. Now what happens means this holes move into this side. Okay, now here this now what happens means here holes increases. Now here this electrons, here this holes recombine. Now what happens means when this recombine taking place, okay, here electron recombine with here holes recombine with here electrons. What happens means here the Fermi level, okay, in p side Fermi level increases, in n side Fermi level decreases. Why? Because what happens means here number of after recombination what happens means, okay, here the holes increases, here the electrons are decreases. Here in this case what happens means electrons move in the side, in this n-type electrons are decreases, but here holes are coming in this side. Okay, the material property changes. Now whenever this material property changes, what happens means here the Fermi level in p-type increases, whereas Fermi level in n-type here decreases. Okay, now what happens means, now due to this what happens means when we after contact, okay, after contact what happens means okay, not only p-n junction diode, after contacting any materials, the Fermi level is same. Okay. We are assuming that the Fermi level is same. This will increase and this will decrease. Then what happens means Fermi level is same. Now what happens means due to this there is a band bending taking place. Band bending. This is called the band bending. Okay. Because after contacting, initially what happens means the diffusion is taking place. Due to diffusion what happens means this energy, Fermi level energy is disturbed, and finally the Fermi level is a common level to both p and n type. Then what happens means when we simply, this is a conduction band level, here this one is conduction band, simply connect this one, then what happens means band bending taking place. Okay. Now this is the curvature here. Now time is 12:50. Okay, now I will stop the class. Next class I continue the same energy band diagram concepts, right? Once again here, the main thing here is this is the energy levels and electron positions in a discrete or single isolated silicon atoms. When we consider a solid, what happens means all these energy levels are disturbed. Okay, in one state what happens means energy levels is more, in another state what happens energy levels are less energy levels. Finally in outermost cell, that is 3s and 3p cells, form a one energy band, and again that will be splitted into, separated by a energy band gap, split into two bands. Finally two bands, one is valency band, another one is a conduction band, separated by a electron band gap. For silicon 1.1 electron volt. Remember this one. So finally only two energy levels, two energy bands, one is valency band and second one is the conduction band. Okay, valency band always filled up with electrons. Okay, depending upon the materials, conduction band is empty. Insulator, semiconductor also empty at 0 degree Kelvin, whereas in metals both are overlap. There is no band gap energy, right? So this is about up to we discuss p-type and n-type. We are not still enter into PN junction, right? Okay, thank you for joining. Any doubts? Please post in chat box, right? Or please post in WhatsApp groups. Thank you.